You know, this really could be a test drive from Motoring 2000. Welcome to Prius, Toyota's all-new hybrid vehicle. Now, the level of technology in this car is really going to surprise you. The 1.5-litre inline-4 was developed specifically for Prius and uses the latest in technology. It is also the key component as it provides both motion and the power to recharge the battery. A power-splitting device divides the power two ways, sending part to the driving wheels and part to a generator. The electricity developed by the generator is then directed one of two ways. It can go to the electric motor to help power the vehicle, or to the inverter, which switches the electricity from AC to DC current, again to recharge the battery. The thing that freaks me out about this technology is that when you pull up to a stop sign and come to a complete stop, total silence. The reason? We're on electric power right now, so when we go to pull away, we're electric, then the engine kicks in, and it does so in a completely seamless and transparent manner. The reason lies in the way in which the engine is restarted. Rather than firing up and then having to match the vehicle's speed, the Prius's engine is cranked over without spark or fuel. Once engine and road speed are perfectly matched, the computer sends spark and fuel, and the motor comes to life at exactly the right point in time. Redlining the engine at just 4,000 RPM ensures that it operates at the optimum. The downside is that it limits the horsepower to just 58. This, however, can be supplemented by the electric motor, which is rated at 40 horsepower for a combined total of 98 horses. In terms of performance, this equates to 0 to 100 km/h times in about 14 seconds. Hardly quick, but when you take the fuel economy into account, it's more than acceptable. The battery pack is housed behind the back seat and the head of the trunk. The two vents on the top here draw air into the battery compartment. It then exhausts on the outside of the vehicle. That's how they keep the whole lot cool. 288 volts and 100 amps maximum output. That's enough power to arc weld. It's also the battery capacity on the Prius. From a dynamic perspective, the Prius is more than up to the task of delivering decent road manners. Up front, you'll find McPherson struts and a roll bar. Attaching the latter to the struts as opposed to the lower control arms improves roll resistance. It is the rear suspension, however, that is the key to the Prius's controlled and nimble feel. The torsion beam-based design is attached to the body by way of two toe control links, which impart a degree of passive rear-wheel steering. As with other cars, Prius features rack and pinion steering. Again, it differs because rather than being boosted hydraulically, it is electrically assisted. The feel and feedback are all they should be. You know, whenever you brake a car, you waste an awful lot of energy. Not so with the Prius, because it uses regenerative brake technology. In essence, it changes the motor to a generator which slows the car. It also recharges the battery, recouping that lost energy. In the event that the electrics cannot support the brake effort that you've put on the brake pedal, it has a conventional hydraulic system complete with anti-lock. You know, the Prius bridges the gap between where we are today and where we need to be tomorrow if we're to preserve the environment. The one thing that I do like, the electrical side is good enough to support a fuel cell vehicle. That's a long way down the road at the moment. The other thing I like about the vehicle, it's completely self-sufficient and therefore places no burden whatsoever on the hydroelectric system. Should the battery go flat, you simply jump start it.
So here's the question, where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.